ballet flats, viral miniskirts, models with bedhead hair, pop-ups with free books, live art exhibits, short films, Willem Dafoe on the runway. For the past years, we've been living in what I like to call the Miu Miu era. With viral moments and products, the brand has been truly everywhere. According to fashion search engine List, which shares its list of the hottest brands every quarter, Miu Miu has been the top brand since Q3 2023, with only 4 exceptions, one taken by its sister brand Prada, 2 by Loewe, and just recently by YSL, putting Miu Miu in second place during those instances. Miu Miu sales rose 105% year-on-year in Q3 2024, and even in 2025, with sales still rising 29% year-on-year in the latest report, continuing to keep the Prada group on top. Miu Miu accomplished all of this in the middle of a luxury downturn, while other luxury brands like Gucci have been experiencing a drop of revenue of 18%. This rise might make us believe that it all came out of nowhere, but Miu Miu is not an overnight success. For a long time, it remained under Prada's shadow, and what might seem sudden or unexpected to some actually took years to develop and to perfect. The Prada Group has attributed this growth mainly to rising brand awareness, which makes sense since many are only now discovering the brand, a strong and recognizable identity, an extraordinary creative vision, and memorable events. But here, I will try to dissect and analyze what exactly it is that fuels the current Miu Miu obsession. Just a little note before we start. Although Miu Miu has experienced off-the-charts growth, it's important to remember that it's still a relatively small brand, especially compared to other major luxury names. That's why we're seeing these huge numbers that might even seem exaggerated. But if this growth continues, it could soon become one of them. Before we start, I just want to quickly share some background about the brand, as I think its origins, history, and identity have been a big part of why it's been so successful. So what is Miu Miu exactly? Miu Miu has always been described as Prada's little sister. It was founded in 1993 by Miuccia Prada, named after Miuccia's childhood nickname. So just from this, you can get a sense of the essence of the brand. Inspired by her personal wardrobe, it was created as a creative playground outlet for Miuccia, where she can express the woman she wants to be, rebellious and free-spirited. Miu Miu is a place where Miuccia can experiment and have fun. As it is explained beautifully in this glamour article, a space occupied by women who value unique, well-made garments and the importance of their own ideas and thoughts. Miuccia is also a patron of the arts, passionate about art in all its forms and expressions. It's a fascination she explores in her small, distinctive lab, Miu Miu's workshop, where the pressure that may hover over the tables at Prada, her favorite child, her prize-winning horse, the firstborn, does not reign, and where creative freedom is not necessarily subordinate to commercial interests. And as Richard Johnson explains it so well on this article, in a market where many designers are playing it safe, leaning heavily into familiar tropes, well-worn commercial territory, and while others opt to stay on trend, Miu Miu stands out due to a forward-looking, innovative approach to setting trends rather than following them. While other brands might play it safe during this luxury downturn, Miu Miu keeps innovating and experimenting, setting new trends instead of relying on the same formula like the other brands. So maybe one of the reasons the brand has been doing so well is precisely this: Miu Miu as a creative lab for experimentation. For instance, its latest Spring-Summer 2026 collection features aprons. Which brings me to the brand's identity. In my opinion, what makes Miu Miu so successful and distinctive is its very strong brand identity. Over the years, the brand has been carefully constructing and perfecting its aesthetic. When we think of Miu Miu, we think of a cool girl brand, rebellious, playful, youthful, and energizing, a less sophisticated Prada, nostalgic and modern at the same time. One of the things that's important about Miu Miu is its consistency. Miu Miu has intentionally built such a strong aesthetic by staying consistent and true to its core essence. That's why we instantly associate certain pieces and looks with the brand. And now, when we think of ballet flats, we think of Miu Miu. Or we might describe a pair of retro oval eyeglasses or a cardigan as so Miu Miu. Even the first collection feels true and aligned with its present self. Its debut included pretty cotton skirts and fringed western suede jackets. And while researching for this video, I looked at some of Miu Miu's early collections and came across pieces like straight skirts paired with sweaters and button-up blouses, as well as see-through skirts with visible underwear, elements we've seen in collections from recent years, giving life to what we now recognize as the signature Miu Miu look. Miu Miu is innovative, but at the same time it stays true to its overall aesthetic, so everything it does always feels very on brand. Authentic, simply put. It is precisely this consistency over the years that customers really value and that builds loyalty over time. This leads me to the next factor I want to discuss, design, something I largely attribute the brand's success to. Everything started in the Spring-Summer 22 collection, which featured raw hemming, unfinished looks, and obviously the iconic viral micro miniskirt. This skirt caused such a sensation that it even inspired an entire Instagram account. It was featured in major editorials and seen everywhere during Fashion Week. Because of this particular item, the brand saw a 400% increase in searches over a 3-month period. We still don't know how well this item sold, but one thing's for sure, it got people talking about the brand again. It was this collection, and specifically that skirt, that turned Miu Miu in a new direction, setting the tone for the aesthetic the brand is instantly recognized for today. Cardigans, ballet flats, satin briefs, Oxford and rugby polo shirts, athleisure, and pleated ultra mini skirts have all become synonymous with Miu Miu. And other viral Miu Miu designs include the Arcady bag, the Wonder bag, the Bow bag, and the Sienna biker boots. The Rigor eyeglasses and sunglasses, various models of Miu Miu logo sunglasses, the crochet collection, and other accessories like headbands, resin hair clips, and back charms, whose resurgence is largely attributed to Miu Miu. Why it works? With pieces like this, Miu Miu taps into an emotional factor, in this case, nostalgia. Both Prada and Miu Miu often revisit their archival pieces, bringing back trends and reimagining simple staple items, by adding new design elements or styling them in different, unique ways that bring them back into popularity. And it's precisely this nostalgic element that makes the brand so popular today, as it connects with people on a deeper level. And by revisiting pieces, Miu Miu influences and set trends. When I think about some of the micro trends of the past few years, like ballet core, corp core, office siren, and librarian chic, I can't help but wonder how many of these were actually inspired and started by Miu Miu. One of the core parts of Miu Miu's identity is its functionality and practicality. Clothes are targeted at a very specific type of woman, a woman with things to do and places to go. Take Bow bag for example. It's big enough to hold everything from makeup and books to a laptop. To me, this bag perfectly encapsulates what the brand is all about, by seamlessly integrating into the lifestyle of the busy modern woman. Another big part of the Miu Miu look, the styling, done by Lotta Volkova. She joined the brand in 2021 after being the creative mind behind the rise of Balmain and Balenciaga under Demna, as Maria Merida describes it in this glamour article, and full looks that are sold as a whole, from head to toe. In fact, this last point has been one of Miuccia's strengths. Her runway shows reveal an exquisite taste for combining pieces that would seem difficult to match at first glance, along with a great sense of humor when it comes to proposing such controversial mixes as tights and panties, ballet flats and socks, or tartan skirts and sequins. Everything works, by the way, and everything, as strange as it may seem, is desirable. Another factor contributing to the brand's growth, as well as to its endless source of inspiration. Thanks to Lotta's styling, we got Miu Miu satin briefs layered with skirts, a back charm craze, and cardigans made cool again, by tucking them into tights. All of these factors, in my opinion, contribute to its designs being so viral and connecting with consumers. And one more thing to wrap this up, a lot of people agree that most of Miu Miu's designs are actually quite simple, like an Oxford polo shirt with just the Miu Miu logo. But people still want them because of the recognizable aesthetic and what the brand represents, which I will get to in a moment. Another factor worth exploring when discussing the brand is its target audience. I saw a few articles saying the brand is mostly popular with Gen Z and millennials. These generations are shaping fashion, setting trends, and driving demand. And as their spending power grows, their influence will only increase. In 2024, Business of Fashion reported that some two-thirds of Miu Miu's core customers are millennial and Gen Z. But I want to focus specifically on Gen Z. Here are a few reasons why. First, Gen Z now makes up a large part of luxury spending, as many young people prefer splurging on luxury items and experiences. And this is especially tied to the little treat trend, which is popular among the generation and involves indulging in small, everyday luxuries that lead them to spend more on things like concerts, skincare, daily coffee, and designer items, Miu Miu included, obviously. And when the brand tries to create an emotional connection using microtrends that are rooted in nostalgia, it makes the connection even stronger. Other articles suggest the brand also resonates with a more mature audience. For example, in an article published by Days, one woman shared what the brand means to her. What makes Miu Miu special to me is Miuccia's ability to remind us of our youth, but is ageless at the same time, she says. I remember not being able to afford Miu Miu when I was younger, and now at age 50, it's my main go-to brand. Miu Miu even invited Dr. Queen, a 70-year-old retired doctor turned influencer and one of the brand's top spending customers, to walk the runway. From all of this, what I can say for sure is that Miu Miu stands out because it resonates with a broader audience than many other luxury brands. It speaks to both young people and those who still keep a youthful spirit, which is exactly what Miuccia said after the Autumn-Winter 24 show. Every single morning, I decide if I'm going to be 15 years old or a lady near death. I love that quote because it perfectly captures the essence of Miu Miu. But what I find especially interesting is that it seems to connect most with the extremes, either the very young, like Gen Z, or older demographics over 50. By appealing to multiple generations, the brand boosts its popularity and drives sales. I also think what the brand does fantastically is understand not only its demographic, but also trends they follow and influence, which is reflected in the kinds of activations it does, whether it's literary clubs, free matcha in their stores, or immersive experiences blending art, fashion, and cinema, just to name a few examples. Miu Miu isn't just fashion, it's a whole world, with its own films, live art, and unconventional ambassadors, bringing it to life. It defies what's established, creating dreamlike worlds you can actually step into. Miu Miu is now deeply woven in today's culture, giving us a masterclass in world building. Miu Miu Women's Tales is a short film series that has been going for 15 years, in which each season a distinctive female director from around the world is invited to create a short film exploring ideas around femininity, with complete creative freedom. The only requirement is that the costumes must be Miu Miu. Recently, it has taken a new form as Miu Miu's Tales and Tellers, a dreamlike, cinematic, and immersive experience. Here you can find an opera singer, a factory worker, and a skateboarder, all part of the 36 characters brought to life from the stories of Miu Miu's short film series and artist collaborations for past shows, dressed in archival pieces, envisioned by Miuccia and by interdisciplinary artist Goshka Makuga. Its most recent live art exhibit, 30 Blizzards, by Helen Martin, brings 30 people to life as a blizzard or living emotion, reflecting weather, mood, memory, and change, storms that shape who you are. The exhibit also includes 5 sculptural stages, each representing a powerful moment in a woman's life. It's a story you experience, like stepping into a living artwork. Then there's the Miu Miu Literary Club, an event meant to explore feminist texts and celebrate the tradition of literary salons with live music, poetry, and prose readings and panel conversations. Its bigger pop-up version, Miu Miu Summer Reads, gives people free feminist books with Miu Miu branded covers and bookmarks, plus Miu Miu iced coffee and popsicles. This year's edition even transformed public parks into spots for reading and reflection. The brand also launched a digitally hand-painted campaign with Gigi Hadid, blurring the line between painting and photography, and collaborated with creatives like Miranda July and Sam Levi. It's also brought to life notable activations, like the Miu Miu Select events, the Miu Miu tennis clubs, and events for younger or newer audiences, including Miu Miu Matcha at its morning club, photo booths, free disposable cameras, posters, PR boxes with microphones, and more. I especially like Miu Miu's activations because they feel deeply aligned with the brand, something you don't often see with other companies. They come across as natural and effortless, truly bringing the brand's lifestyle element to life. Miu Miu has always chosen ambassadors who feel unexpected, multidisciplinary creatives working across art, culture, film, and fashion. When the brand first started, Miuccia Prada chose 20-year-old Drew Barrymore for 1995 campaign, and Chloe Sevigny made her runway debut for Miu Miu in spring-summer 1996. Today, Miu Miu continues to be bold and creative, with a new generation of ambassadors. Actresses Mia Goth and Kaylee Spaney, YouTuber Emma Chamberlain, singers Troye Sivan and K-pop star Momo, It Girl Alexa Chung, and celebrated actors Richard E. Grant and William Dafoe, who even closed the Spring-Summer 2025 show. In this way, the definition of a Miu Miu girl remains exciting, surprising, and ambiguous. Among the brand's very limited collaborations, its partnership with New Balance is especially memorable. The collection sold out instantly in 2022 and was the #1 product of the first quarter of 2024 according to the List Index. The partnership has continued ever since, becoming an ongoing collaboration. In my opinion, this collaboration worked particularly well, not so much because of the design itself, but because of the synergy between the two brands. Miu Miu's feminine, sophisticated, and rare aesthetic fused with New Balance's sporty vibe, resulting in a partnership that felt both rare and special. It was a culturally significant moment. And obviously, when it comes to collaborations, the limited edition element is part of the allure, with all the hype and buzz turning these items into collectibles. If there's one thing we know by now, it's that Miu Miu is more than just a brand. It's a way of living and being. Through activations, ambassadors, and collaborations, Miu Miu creates a tangible world beyond its designs and stores, a world people can experience and breathe in. I didn't want to finish this video without highlighting the crucial role of Asian markets in Miu Miu's growth, as they represent its most significant market and have been key drivers of its profits. And this success is thanks to a combination of factors, but most importantly to the brand's ambassadors chosen specifically for the region and its focus on local events. For its ambassadors, the brand has partnered with celebrities who hold huge influence in Asia. This approach helps the brand connect with consumers who may be less familiar with ambassadors like Emma Chamberlain or Emma Corrin. As for events, the brand has hosted women's sales in Shanghai and summer reads in cities like Beijing, Hong Kong, and Osaka. One notable event was the Miu Miu Encounters activation in Shanghai, Beijing, and Guangzhou to celebrate the Chinese New Year, Year of the Snake. Each city offered a unique experience. From vinyl records and a flower boat tour to an ice skating experience, reflecting each city's local culture. Even the Miu Miu logo was altered into a Chinese knot, symbolizing prosperity, longevity, good fortune, and the interconnectedness of fate. On top of that, Miu Miu's aesthetic resonates with this market, especially with Gen Z. Playful, authentic, rebellious, defying what's established. That is Miu Miu at its core. As for the future, I hope it keeps growing and surprising us more and more every day. That's it for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you liked and found this interesting, please like, subscribe, share, and check out some of my other videos. I hope to see you very soon with another video. Bye!